Hello and welcome to an India Today Sports Today special. This week, one of contemporary Indian cricket's great batsmen has called curtains on what's been a truly great career. A remarkable cricketer who's done the country proud. Cheteshwar Pujara has retired, but not before making a name for himself as one of the icons of the modern game. And we're very happy to be joined by Cheteshwar himself soon after that retirement announcement that's taken many people by surprise, and by my colleague and editor of Sports Today, Nikhil Naz. So thank you all very much for joining me. Cheteshwar, I'm using adjectives like great, remarkable, icon. I know you are a very modest man, but now that you can look back on your career, how do you feel when people are showering all these praises on you, calling you a contemporary Indian great?
Firstly, thank you, Rajdeep. I feel overwhelmed because last couple of days has been I've been talking to a lot of family members, friends, the cricketers I've played with, also extended family members, and also all the cricket fans who has followed cricket in India and across the world. So I've been receiving a lot of phone calls and messages, and I'm overwhelmed by all their wishes. I feel proud to have represented the country for such a long time, because if I look back at this journey, when I was a kid, when I started playing cricket from Rajkot in a small state of Saurashtra, no one at that time thought that a cricketer from a small state could end up playing for the Indian team. But my father and my mother, both of them, I'm thankful to my parents that they made me see that dream to represent the country, and I was fortunate enough to make my debut for the Indian team in 2010. And since then, this journey has begun, and I'm really thankful to all the people who have supported me throughout this journey. But yeah, at the end of this journey, I feel really proud that I got an opportunity to represent our great nation, where people are following cricket, not just in India, but Indian cricket fans who are living abroad. They follow cricket as well. And when you get their support, when you get their wishes on your, I mean, personally, I got a lot of wishes on my cricketing journey. And when the Indian team wins, that's the proudest moment one can always remember. So for me, I think some of the best test victories I've been part of, those are the memorable moments in my cricketing journey.
I'm going to hand it over to Nikhil in a moment, but I just want to ask you this. When you mentioned that some of the most memorable moments are winning test matches for India, I looked at your records, and one of your many records, one stood out, that out of your 19 test hundreds, 13 were in winning causes. That's a terrific percentage. I think only very few would have a better percentage than what you have. Does that make you feel specially proud that you've been instrumental in your test hundreds actually winning tests for India?
Yes, it does. Look, when you're playing cricket for the Indian team, it doesn't matter whether you get 100 or not. But if you can make a contribution on the winning cause, that's the ultimate satisfaction a player can get. And I was given some stat, not just about the 100, but whenever I had scored more than 70 runs for the Indian team hasn't lost more than 70 or 80% of that game. So I think I am proud about that fact, rather than thinking about 1300s, which is, yes, obviously the hundreds means a lot to any batter. But when you have scored runs and the team is not on the losing side, whether India has ended up winning the game or drawing that game, I still feel proud that India hasn't been on the losing side. So yeah, when you contribute to the team's victory, I think that is the proudest stat one can always achieve.
Nikhil?
Couple of questions, Cheteshwar, I have for you. And this is with regards to the retirement per se, because for those of us who follow sports 24/7, 365 days a year, this particular decision of yours did come as a bolt from the blue. I'd like to know from you, what is it, what was the breaking point, or what was that one moment that you decided to retire? Because till very recently you were playing domestic cricket, you even went to England and played, so it was clear that there was some sort of an indication that you're very keen on making a comeback. Was it the Duleep Trophy squad announcement, or was it the continuance, exclusion from the test squad? What is it, that one moment where you said, no, I think now I'm done?
I think one needs to decide. There always comes a time in a sports person's life where you need to move on, and this thought actually came in just before a week's time when I started talking to my family members, because I was almost about to start my preparation for this season. So I wasn't sure whether I want to carry on playing this season. So I spoke to my family, I spoke to my friends, I also spoke to some of the teammates and the senior cricketers whom I always consult, and I thought that whether it's the right time for me to move on, because it gives an opportunity for a younger player to be part of the Saurashtra squad, and he can gain that experience, he can fill in that shoes, and then progress in his career. So I thought the decision was majorly on to provide opportunity to younger players to play first class cricket, because I haven't been part of the Indian team since last couple of years. So for me, it was playing first class cricket and playing county cricket. But I thought that this was the right time to move on from the game. I had also started doing media work, which I've been enjoying very much. So being a broadcaster, if you want to carry on playing cricket and do broadcasting, that was a little bit tough. So I thought that there comes a time where you just stick to one thing rather than keep playing cricket and still continue doing broadcasting. So I thought this was the time where I can be a little more relaxed. I can always spend time with the players on the field, guiding them, but not as a cricketer, just as a support and a mentor.
All right, that's lovely to know that broadcasting work is something that you've taken to. I did listen to your commentary, and you did a great job doing that. So you've crossed over to our side as well. So all the best for that particular inning of yours. But I'm just going back to your decision in those 2 years that we were not part of the squad. I believe that you must be pushing that maybe you'll get a chance again, because previously as well you've made comebacks. Did you ever have a talk with the selectors, or did the selectors ever speak to you what their future plans are, or anyone from the BCCI ever got in touch with you, or did you take that initiative? And if you did, what was the conversation at the time?
Uh, I don't want to dwell too much on what went during those years, but yes, I mean, just to keep it very simple, I did want to make a comeback. I was trying my best to play domestic cricket, but at one point, what was in my mind is to enjoy my cricket. Whether I was playing first class cricket, whether I was playing county cricket, I wanted to enjoy the cricket, which I did. So yeah, ultimate goal was to, if I get an opportunity to play for the country again, I'll be more than happy. But even if I don't, I wanted to enjoy my cricket, because after a certain point, you want to. All these years, I had worked really hard, and once you become a matured player, you want to enjoy your cricket. You want to spend a lot of time on the field by being relaxed and not having a lot of pressure. So when you play first class cricket, you have a lot of teammates, you have a lot of colleagues where you don't need to mentally be mental you don't have a lot of mental pressure. You just enjoy yourselves, you just spend quality time on and off the field with your colleague and friends, and that's what I wanted to do in last couple of years, which I did really well. So I don't have any regrets about that, and if I didn't get an opportunity to represent the country in last couple of years, I don't mind that. I think the young Indian team is doing really well, but at the same time, I'm really proud and I'm really content with how my career has went. I thought it was a phenomenal career where I had the opportunity to play alongside some of the great players when I made my debut. I mean, I can name players like Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman, Virendra Sehwag, Gautam Gambhir. All of them were part of the squad. I mean, they were playing cricket then. Maibai was the captain. So I got an opportunity to make my debut then, and after that, there was Indian team went through a transition, and I played a lot of cricket with some of the modern greats as well. So I was fortunate enough to represent the country for in more than 100 test matches, and I'm proud of that fact rather than worrying about what didn't happen in last couple of years. When I look back at this journey, I feel satisfied, and I feel that I've tried my best for the country, and have given some great memories to the cricket fans as well.
Not just you, we are also very proud of what you've achieved. Rajdeep?
You know, Cheteshwar, you mentioned about your role as a broadcaster, especially in this fantastic India-England series that just got over. I had a friend who told me during one of those games, I think it was at the Lord's Test, that we lost by just a few runs. If only we had someone like Cheteshwar who could bat time. We need someone out there to hold the batting together. I know our batsmen did remarkably well with their stroke play, but you often need someone who holds it all together. Is that something that when you watch cricket from the outside as a broadcaster, did you regret if only I was out there batting? Was there a sense at all, even as a broadcaster, that you felt I'd be happier if I was at the ground?
Well, you always feel that when you're watching the game, because at that time I was still actively playing cricket. I was still practicing. I was still training. So you do feel that, yeah, if I'm at the crease, what will I do? Your thought process is slightly different. But now I can definitely say that I'm not going to think on those lines, because when you are a broadcaster, you just need to detach yourself as a player and then start thinking about the game and what the player is trying to do, try and bring that perspective rather than give your own opinion. Because yes, I mean, if you're experienced enough, you can always say about what you feel. But since I had played a lot of cricket with that young squad, someone like Shubman Gill, KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, all have been my teammates, so I know how they prepare, what's their mindset, and I was more interested in talking about them than myself. So yes, when I'm a broadcaster, I don't want to talk about myself and talk about my cricket. I have managed to detach myself, honestly.
But you know, I want to talk about your cricket because one of the things, the moment I heard that you had retired, I said the modern day wall or the modern day warrior. You can use the word wall or warrior. Wall we'll give Rahul Dravid and we'll call you the warrior. You know, you took blows after blows in that one innings in Brisbane when we won that famous test at Gabba. You were hit about 15 times on your body by Pat Cummins and company, and yet you never flinched. For you, was that an essential part of batting time? No one has batted more balls than you, apart from Dravid and a Tendulkar. You know, in terms of that ability to play hour after hour, your average is 2 hours per innings that you played, more than 16,000 balls. These are phenomenal numbers. Is that something that was always part of your batting, that when you went out to bat, I will grind the opposition to dust?
Yeah, I think as a batsman, one needs to understand their strength. And for me, my strength was my technique. Try and play on the merit of the ball. My defense was very strong. I left the ball really well. So I always assess the situation of the game. And when the bowler is on top, when he's bowling really well, you respect that. That's how the conventional test cricket has been. Now things have changed a bit. Now we are seeing more players who are coming in from the white ball circuit, and they are naturally a stroke player, and that's why they are sticking to their game, which is to play shots and then to defend the ball in between. But for me, it was about respecting the conditions, respecting the new ball, try and bat well, because if you're batting at number three, your job is to ensure that you see through that new ball. And whenever you lose another wicket, your middle order batsmen, the batsmen who are batting at number 4, 5, and 6, their job is slightly easier. So top three's job in Test cricket in the past era was to see through the new ball, see through that tough phase of the game, and then they used to start scoring runs. And that's how I have played my game conventionally. But at the same time, there have been some flat tracks where I've batted at a higher strike rate. So I always used to assess the conditions and the opposition team, and then try and strategize my innings rather than just playing in a certain way. Because there was a perception about my batting that I bat at a lower strike rate, which was there. But at the same time, if the pitch was flat, if the conditions were ideal enough to attack the opposition and start scoring runs, I used to do that as well. But those games were limited. Most of the times in Test cricket, you are challenged as a top order batsman, especially when you play overseas. Those are the conditions where you need to respect the opponent and the bowlers. So if the time is right, that's when you accelerate. But if the time is not right for the team and for yourself, then you just need to bat according to the situation of the game.
You know, the reason I'm asking you that, Cheteshwar, in a way, is that you're a bit of an anachronism. You know, you're the odd man out. You came into the test team just as T20 was exploding, and there were all these young players playing ram shots, reverse sweeps, even stepping out in the first over to fast bowlers. Sometimes when you see them playing like that, you feel, wish I could also play cricket like that, or you were just happy in your own comfort zone batting the way you did, even if it meant losing out on, say, a lucrative IPL contract?
Yeah, for me, the Test cricket was always the ultimate format of the game. So I always wanted to excel in Test format. At the same time, yes, I did want to play all three formats of the game, and I tried my best to get better in T20 format, in ODI format. And I've done well in if you look at my list A record, I've done reasonably well even in white ball cricket. So I've enjoyed white ball cricket as well. And when I look at some of the younger players, the kind of shots they play, I always feel that can I do that? But the answer is yes. If I tried playing those shots, I might improve in that. But at the same time, the risk of losing the red ball cricket or my test match batting was on the higher side. So that's why I didn't try too many shots, because if you want to be successful in test format, you need to have that discipline, you need to have that temperament. Otherwise, you can't be consistent enough. So to be successful in test format, I had to sacrifice something in white ball, and I was happy to do that. You did mention about the IPL. Yes, I've been part of the IPL, but I did lose the IPL contract because I was tagged as a test player. So yeah, I mean, sometimes when you are representing the country and if you're losing something else, you just need to be prepared for that. But for me, I don't have any regrets. If I had an opportunity to play all three formats or be part of the IPL, I would have definitely taken it. But for me, I had to choose something. I had to choose one format, and for me, it was Test cricket. And I'm happy that I chose Test cricket, and I'm very content with what has happened in the past.
Nikhil?
Just carrying on from what Rajdeep has said, Cheteshwar, for me, you are the last man standing, the last of the test specialists. Yes, you will get a lot of players going in the future who will probably play 100 test matches, who might get 10,000 runs, may get 20, 30 test centuries. That might still happen. But I don't think you'll get a specialist like Cheteshwar Pujara again. My question to you is, do you think there is a future for test specialists like yourself who dedicated themselves to the art of, let's say, grinding it out, to the art of leaving the ball? Because as Rajdeep mentions, everyone now enjoys those ramp shots. They forget that the art of leaving the ball or just having that mental fortitude to bat for hours is probably a greater skill. What would you tell a young kid who wants to just be a test specialist? Do you see a future for them? Or for a young kid growing up, he has to know those ramp shots? Yes, he can succeed in test cricket, but he'll need to know those shots as well.
He needs to. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend any of the young players to just pick test format because times are changing. White ball format is very popular, and one needs to adapt to what's what lies ahead in the future. And future is definitely white ball cricket along with test matches. So test match cricket is not going anywhere. So test match cricket is going to survive. But for a young player to get picked in the test squad, you need to perform well either in the IPL or in India's T20 squad or India's one day squad. So if you are not good enough, if you are not a good white ball player, then chances of them getting into the test squad are very limited. There might be an exceptional player who does exceptionally well in Ranji Trophy, might get picked in the test squad, but those players are very, very limited. So you need to be you need to perform exceptionally well in the Ranji Trophy, Dulip Trophy to get picked in the test squad. But I think easier way is to get picked from the white ball format, and I would definitely recommend a young player to play all three formats because I've missed out on other formats, and I wouldn't recommend a young player to miss out on the other formats because the future lies there. But yes, they should be always aiming to play Test cricket because that's the ultimate format of the game. So if you are looking to get that respect, if you are looking to be the best cricketer, you need to definitely play red ball format and excel in that. Not just play, but excel in that.
I just love that answer because that's all heart that Cheteshwar Pujara is sharing with us. Just another follow up on that, Cheteshwar. I've always been fascinated by what must a player be thinking when he's made to look ugly by a bowler. So let's say you're batting in Test match and there is a situation where a Pat Cummins is bowling to you, or a Dale Steyn is bowling to you, or a Mone Mokel is bowling to you, and you're looking quite average. It'll happen to the best of batters, right? He's beating you. You're not getting anywhere close to the ball. The crowd is getting impatient. I remember there was a knock of yours in Johannesburg where you took 50 deliveries to get off the mark. Now, crowd is getting impatient. In your mind, every batter has that ego that, listen, I'm better than anyone else. I'm playing for India. I can master these conditions. But there's a half-hour period, 40-minute period where anything that you're trying is not really helping you, and you're looking like Do I even belong there? I want to know, where does that resolve come, that when you're looking ugly, you say, okay, fine, I'll bite this time, I'll wait. It'll get better. It'll get better. What is a batter thinking at that time? And nobody better than you to tell us.
Yeah, just to answer that question, firstly, I would say I would want to mention those two games. One was at Joburg, which you mentioned, where I took a lot of deliveries to get off the mark, and also the game at Gaba, where I scored 56 and played more than 200 deliveries. Uh, the outcome of that game, I would first like to mention that because both the games, India won. At Joburg, we ended up on the winning side. Even at Gaba, that was one of the best test victories anyone would have witnessed. So when I'm walking out there in the middle, what's my job is to ensure that the Indian team is in a good position to put up a decent total as a batter or to win a game. If we are chasing that total, how can we get into a position of winning a game? So whether I'm looking good or ugly, it hardly matters. Yes, you do at times you do feel frustrated that you are trying your best, but you're not looking good at the crease. But does it matter? I don't think it matters because ultimately, if you can contribute to the team's victory, however however good your technique is, if you're not scoring runs, it's not nice. Even if you are scoring good 20, 30, which is looking really pleasant, everyone will praise that look. What a cover drive or what a straight drive, but ultimately you get out at on 20 or 30, no one is going to say that, oh, that was a beautiful 20 or a 30. But if you are able to score decent runs which helps the team win a game, that's what you aim for as a cricketer and as a batter. So that's what I always try and remind myself, that if even if I'm not looking good, but if whether I'm able to contribute to the team's cause, and if the answer is yes, it doesn't matter. Even if I have to take blows on my body, I think that's part of the game. In Australia, it was slightly different. I would just like to talk a little more about that Gaba innings, because I don't know how I've done that, because people have been asking me this question again and again, that how did you do that? If I look back at that innings, I don't know how I did that. There's always a superpower who helps you, because when you are looking to do something extraordinary for the Indian team, you get that strength. Because if I have to play that innings again, I don't know whether I'll be able to do that.
Right, Rajdeep?
Because one of the things I saw in that innings, Cheteshwar, in that innings, you were getting hit on the body, but you would not, beyond the point, make a fuss about it. This is an age where taking blows on the body, yes, you got protection. Was that also deliberate, that you felt that, even if I'm hurting, I'm not going to tell the bowler that I'm hurting? In fact, it makes you more determined the next ball. I sitting and watching that innings, I said, my God, Cheteshwar's been hit again. And yet you were up and about. Is that something that's always been part of you from the time you were a kid playing on, let's say, matting tracks in Saurashtra?
Yeah, look, that was one of the strategy I always had, that whenever I get hit on the body, even if I'm in pain, I'm not going to show it to the opposition or the bowlers or to anyone else, because I can bear the pain. One is my pain tolerance level has always been slightly on the higher side, because I wanted to go through that pain and still focus on what lies ahead. So yeah, when it comes to reaction, I didn't want to react in a way where I was hurt. Although there was a lot of pain on many occasions at Gaba, because if you get hit on the body once, you can always bear that pain. But if you get hit on the same spot again and again, that was unbearable pain. But I didn't want to react in a manner until I got hit on the finger, where my finger was actually broken and I was in terrible pain and I couldn't restrict myself. But apart from that, I always try and control myself, control my emotions, and then try and move on and focus on what I have to do as a batsman, rather than thinking about what has happened on my body.
But the interesting thing is, it's not just the fast bowlers. What was remarkable was how you played spin. Few people give you enough recognition. You're among the best batsmen, Indian batsmen I've seen playing spin, and Indians are good players of spin, but you gave all the nightmares to Nathan Lyon. You had the ability to go on the back foot, play through the offside, or you would step out, and if you were even beaten in the flight, the pads were always there. Was that again something that you learned at an early age on those good batting wickets in Saurashtra, that step out always and don't allow a spin bowler to ever settle in? You were just so good against off spin.
Yeah, Rajdeep, I would just like to correct you a little bit because I have heard this that in Saurashtra flat pitches have been very flat, but that hasn't been the case. Yes, occasionally we do get flat tracks, but the reason I am good against spin is that we ended up playing a lot of games on a turning track. So many people used to say that at Rajkot it has always been a high scoring, but it has always been a high scoring in the first innings. If you look at the entire game, second innings has been the toughest to bat on because the ball starts to turn a bit. Some games have been very high scoring, but apart from that, majority of the game recently and even in the past when I made my debut, the ball used to turn. And even in my junior cricket, we played a lot of games in Rajkot. So the track, we ended up playing a lot of games on a turning track. And I also ended up playing a lot of cricket in Mumbai for Indian Oil. I played Time Shield, and we traveled across India to play league games for Indian Oil. So when you play a lot of games in India on different pitches, you gain that experience of tackling good spinners. Because in India we used to have quality spinners then. Sorry, you were saying something.
So is that one of Cheteshwar, one of the lessons? Just as Nikhil said, one of the lessons is that you possibly you say that young cricketers have to master all three formats, but young cricketers also have to start playing more domestic cricket. You played county cricket, you played club cricket, you played office cricket, and of course for Saurashtra more than 60 first-class hundreds. Do you believe that's a very important part of learning that many of our great test players don't play enough domestic cricket? Do you believe it's important to play as many domestic matches as possible?
It is definitely. I will completely agree with you on that because if you are not playing enough domestic cricket, then you can't be successful in test format. You need to have enough number of domestic games. Even if it's so in a season, if a state team plays 7 or 8 league games, even if you play 4 or 5 games, because if the schedule is very tight, if you are a multi-format player, you may not be able to play all the games. But as a batter, maybe for a bowler, it's slightly different. But you should be playing 2 to 3 games in Ranji Trophy or Dulip Trophy to just get acclimatized to red ball cricket, to get better. Because if you want to play Test cricket, Ranji Trophy or any domestic games in India is very, very important because it's you don't improve just by playing test cricket. You also improve your game because there are certain things you want to change in your game which you can only try it out in first class cricket. And when you play first class cricket, it is very competitive. You play on different tracks in India, where some tracks will be on the turning side. You will get some flat pitches. You will also get seaming pitches in north. So you get all the conditions in India. And if you can perform well in domestic cricket, because it's never easy to perform in domestic cricket, most of the teams produce pitches where you want to result in a 4-day game. So to perform consistently in domestic cricket is not easy, and all the younger players should be looking to play as many games as possible in domestic cricket.
Okay. We've just got a couple of minutes, Nikhil, so I'm going to do a little bit of fun. And Nikhil, please join in the fun. First, Cheteshwar, the best batsman that you have ever seen, either Indian or overseas. If there's one batsman that you would say, if he was out there, if you had a choice for a batsman to bat for your life, who's that batsman that you would choose?
I would go with Rahul Dravid.
Okay, you'd go with Rahul Dravid. And any overseas batsman who you would say he is the batsman who you thought was the one who you liked watching the most?
I would go with Brian Lara because when I was young, I grew up watching Sachin Paji. Brian Lara scored so many runs. I loved watching Brian Lara. If you're just talking about the overseas player, I admired his batting a lot. The way he used to dominate in Test cricket. Also, some of his first-class innings has been really good, which I haven't been able to witness. But I've heard a lot about some of the county innings, which people have told me that if you were able to watch that live,
Right.
it's one of the best innings anyone would have witnessed.
Okay, so Rahul Dravid and Brian Lara. Nikhil, what's your trivia question for Cheteshwar?
I'd like to know from him who's the most underrated player that you've played alongside you in the Indian team. You've played with some greats. You mentioned Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. The most underrated player who you think was outstanding in test match cricket but did not get the due recognition. I can give you a few suggestions. There was a Murli Vijay, there was
Yeah,
Vridhiman Saha, there was a Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Umesh Yadav. I don't know. You pick.
Yeah, if I have to pick a few, I would go with Murali Vijay, Riddhiman Saha, and Bhuvnesh Kumar because all three, were exceptional players. Unfortunately, Bhuvi was injured and he couldn't carry on playing Test cricket for a long time, but he was an exceptional bowler. Riddhiman Saha has been an exceptional wicketkeeper and a batsman, but he was born in an era where Mahibhai was captain, and then after that he didn't get after that Riddhiman didn't get a lot of matches to play for the Indian team, and Rishabh Pant also came in, so he missed out. And Murali Vijay, again, an exceptional opener. I think one of the best openers I've played my cricket with, because if you're a number three player, you want the best opener out there. And I've seen a lot of, I've had a lot of great partnership with Vijay, and he's also one of the best test openers I've seen.
A couple of questions I had for you, Cheteshwar, because you spoke
Okay,
about
so
those.
as one of India's best,
Sure, sure, Rajdeep.
sorry, Nikhil. As one of the best number threes that India has had, I just want to ask you, who's the toughest bowler that you've ever faced, and the one you perhaps enjoyed the most? They may not be the same. The one you really enjoyed playing the most, who really gave you a competitive sense, and the toughest bowler that you had to face, Cheteshwar.
For me, the toughest bowlers have been Dale Steyn and Moni Morkel when they were at their peak. When I had to face them in South Africa, I think that was the toughest time. First time in 2011 when I faced them, I had a tough time. I had to work hard on my game, and then I was successful against them in 2013. Then Jimmy Anderson in England in 2014, when we went there for the first time again, he gave me a hard time. And lastly, I would say Pat Cummins. When I faced Pat Cummins in Australia, it was challenging, but I had to work my way through. And then we had some great battles on the field, and also Nathan Lyon. I think he has dismissed me many times, but my average against him has been on the higher side. So I've enjoyed that battle against all the Aussie bowlers, not just Nathan Lyon, but Pat Cummins, Hazelwood, Nathan Lyon, Mitchell Stark. All of them have been a fantastic bowlers, but I've had a reasonable success against them.
Nikhil, final question to you.
Quick questions I had for you, Cheteshwar. One, I'd like for you to talk to us about those turning tracks that we've seen in India in the last decade. What do you think was the primary reason that the pitches turned, where you would have ranked turners? And two, how did that impact batsmanship, especially Indian batters?
I thought it impacted the Indian batting massively, also the Indian Test cricket as well. The reason that those tracks were made because uh, we wanted results, because it was because of the WTC. As a team, you always want a result out of a game. But I thought that wasn't ideal for Test cricket, and going forward, I'm sure that the management and everyone has realized that when you prepare such tracks, you need to be lucky to score runs as a batter. So your skills are somewhere taken out of the game, and you need to be brave enough. You need to just keep playing as many shots as possible and try and get quick 40, 50, 60, whatever you can get. So I think things are changing now. Most of the teams are playing on better pitches, and even going forward, I hope that India plays on better pitches. I'm not saying the ball shouldn't turn; it should turn, but the game shouldn't be getting over in 3 or 3.5 days. You should play on a good pitch where the games are getting over on day four or day five.
Right. Final question, Cheteshwar, before Rajdeep wraps it up. You've played
I
under
just want
three
to.
great captains in MS
Go ahead.
Dhoni,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Virat Kohli, as well as Rohit Sharma. How were the three of them different when you were playing under them?
Well, yeah, I've played with Mahibhai. I've played with under Virat, Rohit, and not to forget Ajinkya as well, because there was an important
Yes.
series where Ajinkya led the team. So everyone had their own strength. Everyone, the one point I would like to make here is all the captains, they believed in their strength and they stuck to that and led the team with that. Whether Mahibhai, he was very calm and composed. Virat was aggressive. He stayed with that aggressive approach. He wanted the entire team to play in a certain way. Rohit, when he took over, he was very calm, composed, very communicative with the players. Ajinkya was very quiet, but that's what his strength was. He was also very communicative with the players. He used to get a lot of feedback from the players as well. So one has to stick to their strength. That's the success mantra to lead a team, I would say.
Thank you once again for taking our time speaking to us about your journey. And I must tell you that, as you retire, we keep talking about what might have been, but whatever you've done on the cricket pitch, you'll go down in history as one of the finest test players to come out, not just of India, but globally. Thank you once again for taking our time and speaking to us on India Today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Nikhil.